If you clicked on this video, it means that you want to know what are the main habits that separate the peasants from the top 1% men. So I'm not gonna bore you with things you already know, like they go to the gym, they don't watch porn. I'm gonna give you some real shit that you probably never thought about, or maybe you already know. In that case, good for you. Habit number 1. Spending time with a good community. And I'm not talking about networking or stuff like that. A network is important, but it's only for when you're already reached the top of the game. You have to find a strong community to rely on, people with the same goals and passions. Iman explained it very well in one of his videos. You can try to perform at your maximum, but you're always going to come back at your lowest possible performance. So it's better to make your lowest as high as you can, and you do that by having a community. Because when you have a community, you start pushing each other up. If you go to the gym and you have a group of friends you go to the gym with, you'll always perform well because you see people around you that are pushing hard, so you naturally want to push hard too. You see, humans copy the habits of other humans around them. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if around you there are people who take drugs, play video games and are lazy, you too will want to take drugs, play video games and be lazy. It is in human nature to try to belong in a community. And the strong men know this, and they use it to their advantage. You see, you always see them moving in packs with other like-minded people, who push them to become better. So remember to find a good community to spend time with. Habit number 2. They keep things in order. And you know why they act like this? Because they know they can't allow themselves to not know where things are. They have to operate on another level of efficiency. They can't waste time by looking where things are. Just imagine 2 guys who are working on the same project, but one doesn't keep things in order. So every time he starts doing his task, he loses time looking for the tools he needs and thinking of what thing he has to do next. While the other guy has everything at his place and has a clear plan for the day. The first guy is getting his ass kicked by the second guy. And let's be real. Each one of us would love having a clean house where we know precisely where everything is, but most of us are just too lazy to put things in order. Just think what pain it would be for an editor to go through all his files to find the perfect one. Trust me, I'm telling you from experience. Putting things in order is a great investment. Okay, fair enough. Most of the time successful people aren't the ones to keep things in order, they always have someone to do the job. And by the way, keeping things in order doesn't only mean having a clean house and a good file organization. It means having a life that's in order. You can't not have a plan for what you're going to do the next day. You can't allow to let things go hoping that they solve naturally. When you're at the top, you have so much power and so many responsibilities that you can't just let things be. You need to have a clear control over things, because if you don't, you never know when something could catch up to you. You always need to leave everything clear. You literally can't allow forgetting something behind, because everything could be used against you by your competitors to stop you from achieving your goals. Life of a top man is like a perfect mechanism that works like wonders, but you always have to make sure that no dust comes in the way and stops the gears. So next time that you leave a room, remember to have sure that everything is in its place, so that you always know where things are, and so that you always have control over the world around you. Habit number 3. They chase responsibilities. What does the normal guy do? What does the guy who sits at home after work, jerking off and watching Netflix do? He runs from his responsibilities. He has an enormous debt in his bank account, but he'll make all the effort possible to ignore it. He's unhealthy. He's a young man, but he looks like an old man. But he'll cope with that saying body positivity and I don't have time to go to the gym. His life sucks, but he won't fucking admit it. But look on the other side. We have the best men, the most masculine, attractive, wealthy and powerful men. What do? They do the opposite. If they can add more responsibilities, they'll damn sure add them. If they wake up and everything is breaking down, they won't look for someone to blame or somewhere to hide. They'll embrace the problem and they'll be happy, cause now is their time to shine. Just think of kings. Imagine now of a king. Do you realize how much responsibility he had? All of the people in his kingdom were under his responsibility. If some problems arise, he would have to deal with them, and if something goes wrong, he was the one that gets his reputation ruined. Cause you know, from great power comes great responsibility. But the opposite is true too. From great responsibility comes great power. Cause you can't have one without having the other. Our life is too easy. We have been raised in comfort. And they told us that you don't have to work hard, just enjoy yourself. And you have no responsibility. Your daddy will care about everything. But you know that's a lie. So why do you continue to cope? Why do you continue to avoid your responsibilities by binge watching videos like this? Cause I know that 99% of people who are watching this video are procrastinating right now. Get your balls out, stop this video and go face your responsibilities. Then you'll watch the rest. But now you have things to do. Hopefully you did the things you had to do. So now I'm gonna give you some bonus tips that I don't know why everyone seems so unaware of, even if they are so basic that it makes me laugh. But what are these bonus things that they do and that allows them to operate on a completely different level? They sleep well, they breathe well, they eat well. And the funny thing is that most people think they can just neglect these 3 things. They say it doesn't make the difference, and it's so funny because sleeping, breathing and eating are 3 of the 4 essential needs for a human to survive. You can't survive without no sleep, you can't survive with no air, you can't survive with no food. And now the angry people will say, I already do these things and I'm not successful. It's not simply about if you do them, it's about how you do them. And I can guarantee that 99% of people don't do any of these things well, not one. Well, probably you heard about the stories of all the successful people going weeks with shit sleep, and you probably heard many of them saying that they wouldn't recommend anybody to do this. Why? Because they've learned that you can ignore sleep for some time, but sooner or later it's going to catch up, so it's never so worth it to have a bad sleep. They breathe well. Again, you think you breathe well, but you don't, trust me. Most people breathe like they have something tight around them, and they fail at bringing oxygen to their brain. You can go watch a video Hamza did about this topic. It explains very well what I'm trying to say. And now the last one, and I think this is by far the most powerful one. I don't know if you noticed, but a shit ton of the top 1% men eat in a completely different way than a normal guy. They usually don't eat breakfast, low carbs and a lot of fucking high protein food, mostly coming from animal sources. And bruh, I don't know precisely why, but it looks like it works. If a random guy looked at this diet, like eating 3k calories at once, all in protein and nearly no carbs, he would say that's not good, not healthy. But still, they're healthier than all the other people. The 99% of people who follows the conventional way of eating suggested from the media and the doctors. And the thing is, I still have to find someone debunking this type of diet. Cause from the things I'm seeing, they work and they do well. So I'll make a full video dedicated only to this topic, cause I think there are still a lot of things I have to discover about this. So subscribe and activate the notifications. Bell, I don't know how you call it. Where I'm from, it's called Campanellina. By the way, remember, none of this thing will make you the new Andrew Tate in 2 days, but they'll definitely put you on the path to success. So go and complete the mission, soldier.